Let me see if YouTube works. Open up the... Okay, YouTube, we should be live on YouTube now? Hello? Yeah, okay, we're back on YouTube. Apologies for anyone who, I think YouTube works different. I think YouTube, like, people aren't just going to be chilling on my channel and then get brought back into stream when I go live again, so they have to, like, find the next stream, which is a bit unfortunate. But we should be back on both. I think it's my internet. I'm going to try this other, like, internet thing. I think the 5 gigahertz just kind of is unstable. I think that's what it is. I don't think it has anything to do with my simulcasting. Because I went offline. And then, I closed out OBS, I reopened it, and then I hit start stream again, and it immediately disconnected again. And I also, chat wasn't loading either, which chat should keep loading. So I think it's my internet and not simulcasting. But hopefully it's good now. What happened? It's just OBS disconnected. There's just happens. We did just get new internet, and then I'm also, like, simulcasting, so it's, like, hard to pinpoint what exactly was happening. I think it's the internet, though. I think it's the 5 gigahertz. The issue... So, 2.4 gigahertz should work. The issue is everyone has, like, all their devices and stuff on that. So, there could be lag. We could get lag, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see if that happens. If it doesn't, then I'll just keep using this internet. But yeah. None of your friends like shiny hunting. They just say it wastes your time. I have a friend who is currently shiny hunting Spiritomb in BDSP. And, hold on. I'm feeding my buddy in Pokemon Go. I forgot to do that. I have a friend who's currently shiny hunting Spiritomb in BDSP, but I don't have anyone that would be, like... There's no one that's as interested in shiny hunting as me that I know of, that, like, would be as invested in shiny hunting as me. So I wouldn't be able to, like, get someone to, like, shiny hunt with me that I, like, know. Yeah, I know how 2.4 works versus 5 gigahertz. The issue is, on my last internet, I always use the 5 gigahertz because all of our other devices are connected to 2.4 gigahertz, and it caused lag. This internet, I think, is better, so it probably might be better to use 2.4 gigahertz.
Does put a smile on my face.
Ashbug, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. Yeah. The thing is, I'm not even that far away from the router. Like, the router is probably, like, 5 feet this direction, and then the floor below me. Like, I'm pretty close. I have to use wireless. I'm not threading a cord across the whole house. I'm not gonna do that. Welcome back, everyone on YouTube. I understand that, like, YouTube, like, we went down on both ends. Hopefully, it's all good now. I can't steal it and bring it into my room because it needs to be next to a window, and I can't... I'd have to block half my room. My room's pretty small. I think we're back. I think we're good. I'm just feeding my buddy. I just want to make sure everything works before I start, like, recording and stuff again. So might as well interact with my buddy in Pokemon Go and try to get this thing excited. So, yeah, I guess for now, I guess I'll just have to keep doing the 2.4 and just hope I don't get lag. Because the issue was, last internet we had, I would use the 2.4, but it would lag. And then when I started using 5 gigahertz, I got way less lag. So that's why I was, like, quick to go to 5 gigahertz. But maybe this one's just a little more touchy. I'm hatching an egg. It's a Meowth. It's a Meowth. I don't want Meowth. Trash it. Alright. You pay for your house internet fiber so the router sits in your room next to your PC so you could get signal. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not the only person who lives in this house, so I can't just use all the internet for myself. It is funny. I wonder if it would be better if I go down on the YouTube chat, like tell people like, hey, we're up on a different YouTube stream now, so go to that. Because I feel like a lot of people, they see the stream end and they're just like, oh, he's probably done streaming. And they just like leave. When it's just like, nope, we just disconnected. I didn't want that to happen. Post a YouTube announcement or tweet. Nah, it's fine. I usually mainly stream on Twitch anyway. Like, I just started simulcasting. It's not the end of the world. Alright, I'm gonna start recording again. So yeah, I'll have to see. Hopefully we don't get, like, any lag or anything. I forgot I use this phone as a counter. I should probably plug it into... Probably plug it in too so that it doesn't die. How's the stream going? Well, we just disconnected and we're back up. So it was going good and now it wasn't, but I mean, I'm sure it's fine. Where's my counter? Wait, when did my counter close out? When did that happen? Wonder if I accidentally closed that out when I like disconnected. The only other side of the house sickles at the lounge with the Wi-Fi booth. We use a Wi-Fi booster and have a fly lead through Rude to the other side boost that side. I'm not really sure what that means. You can look into these signal repeaters. They basically repeat the signal and make it stronger. I'm sure it's fine. We just have to do some tests. We still haven't really quite narrowed it down yet. Can you host a BBQ even though no one will probably join? Yeah, like if there's anyone who wants to do BBQs in Scarlet and Violet, post your code and see if anyone will join. I'm sure people are just kind of chilling, and if there's an opportunity to get a lot of BBQ points, do that. You have a question? You don't have to announce that you have a question. You can just ask a question. You think there was a coding error in Fire Red Leaf Green that Everstones don't work, by the way? I'm pretty sure I've traded, I've traded Graveler over. Oh, wait. No, I've definitely traded a shiny Graveler over from Emerald to Fire Red Leaf Green, and I didn't have an issue. Unless it's because it was coming from Emerald. There was one where I forgot to give it an Everstone and I evolved it, but... You're wondering how you get Pokemon Rumble Weekend in your videos? Is it an emulator or the actual Wii? It's a Wii, but you can use an emulator. You can use, like, Dolphin Emulator for a PC. My cousin does that. I'm pretty sure AbsoBlogs has, like, the info on, like, his video or his download link on, like, how to get it in Dolphin Emulator, so... I'm not the person to ask. I use it on a Wii. Fire Red Leaf Green Egg Hunt suck. Yeah, if you're gonna do an Egg Hunt in Gen 3, you gotta do Emerald, because at least you get Flame Body, Magma Armor, like, make the eggs hatch faster. I mean, like, Gen 3 Egg Hunts are terrible, though. If you have access to Pokemon Box, Ruby, Sapphire, though, you can make them easier by just, like, mass getting a bunch of eggs and then using Box to, like, transfer the Pokemon, the eggs, between games. And you get to check them in, like, multiple save files. Because it's like the Manaphy Hunt, where, like, the shiny value is different on different save files. So you can like get a bunch of eggs and then like move them between games and then hatch them, instead of having to keep getting a bunch of eggs over and over again. Pokemon Sleep Shiny on video when? I never downloaded Pokemon Sleep. I don't plan on downloading Pokemon Sleep. Does not seem like an interesting game to me. Yeah, I'm also streaming on YouTube. Can't afford box is crazy? Yeah, but you can download a ROM for box and put it on an SD card, and there you can like plug it into like a GameCube and stuff. Like that's what Absolvlogs does. And no one can afford box. It's like multiple thousands of dollars of a game. But you can still use it on like a GameCube and stuff. You just have to know what you're doing. Just like do some research. What's up, Axolotl? Welcome in. Are you able to get the shiny Mew from Emerald's Pokemon Home? Yep. I wouldn't be hunting it if I couldn't do that. Just have copied message ready to paste. Stream crashed. We'll be back on Twitch chat. Well, why did you type that out? I'm already live. I'm not gonna like post that now. Is it a laborious process to get the Mew event? Depends on how you want to get it. If you want to use a cheating device, then I'm sure it's not. If you don't want to use a cheating device, and you want to do it in a non-English European copy of Emerald, then it's quite the process, but not terrible. If you want to do it in a Japanese or English copy, don't know how to do it, but I'm sure it's probably not too bad. You need a DS, DS Lite, and a 2DS, 3DS with those. Are you talking about just the transferring process? I thought you were talking about getting the Mew event and then shiny hunting it. It's the same as transferring any other Pokemon up to a modern game from Gen 3. Which I have a full tutorial on my Gen 3 Living Dex video, so if you want to know how that works, watch that video. Yeah, like I'm sure a lot of people don't realize I have a within my Gen 3 Living Dex challenge video, I have a full like tutorial on how to transfer stuff from Gen 3 into home. If you're looking into getting a 3DS with Pokemon Bank, but you also need a regular DS, you need 2 devices. You need a regular DS or a DS Lite in order to send from Gen 3 to Gen 4. And then you need 2 either DSs or 3DSs or one of each in order to send from Gen 4 to Gen 5. And then from there you need Transporter and Bank. Like, you need a DS with this bottom slot in it that has the cartridge. You can put a cartridge in. Apparently trying to get all the shinies from the Friend Safari in X and Y. That seems like quite the task. Good luck, though. Maria, the Zamazenta lover, apparently followed again. I'm pretty sure the notification doesn't go through when someone refollows, so... pretty sure you refollowed there. I was like, what just happened? I just got a Twitch notification, but it didn't show up on stream. I think if you try to refollow someone, it doesn't show up on stream. Thought about it, but you want to stick to a single system hunting for now? Ah, you got this, though. Thank you for the 2 months sub, Maria. I do really appreciate it. You're back? Welcome back. Yeah, I was wondering why it said you followed this minute, but it didn't go up. I'm like, I think that means you refollowed. But yeah, clearly, if you sub for... This is your 2-month sub. Thank you so much. Are you correcting me on the pronunciation? Is it Mariah or Maria? Because we had this conversation the other day, and you said you spelled out Maria, and then you said with an H, which makes me think it was Maria. But now you're saying it's, and then you're spelling the exact same way. Okay, you're trolling me. You're definitely trolling me. I'm gonna keep calling you Maria until you give me an actual way to pronounce it. M4 is back. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. Again, you cannot try to tell me the pronunciation of your name by spelling it the exact same way it's already spelt out. That does not help at all. That gives me no info. Exactly, mind to roam. Is it Maria or Mariah? Like how are we doing? If you tell me that, I will know. Yeah, I know it's in your Twitch name. That's why I'm confused, because you're not giving me a pronunciation. You're just spelling out the same name your Twitch name is spelled out. Mariah. Okay, so Mariah. But that's what I originally called you, and you were saying it was... No. I think I originally called you Mariah, and then I said, is it Mariah or Maria? And then you gave me the whole same exact spelling thing, which didn't tell me anything. And then you said Maria with an H at the end, which is Maria. So that's why I've been calling you Maria. Because Maria is spelled like that without an H at the end. And then when you said it was Maria with an H at the end, I was like, oh, so it's Maria. Now we know. I will continue calling you Mariah. You're confused? Bulbapedia says Generation 3... this generation, only trade evolutions are affected by the held item loss glitch. If Kadabra, Machoke, Graveler, or Haunter is traded while holding any item, including Everstone, that Pokemon will evolve and will be permanently lost. Huh. Unless it could be... But it doesn't say Fire Leaf Green. I'm pretty sure I traded over a Graveler from Emerald into Leaf Green, and it didn't evolve. Because I have a shiny so I need to really think about this. I could be mistaken. I could be mistaken. It could have my Golem. Oh, let's see. Because when I hunted for Torkoal, I got 2 Gravelers and 2 Geodudes. There's a chance that the Graveler I have was a Geodude, but I don't remember. Nick, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. So yeah, I could just be mistaken, and I just haven't done a trade of a trade evolution Pokemon. I mean, I could just test it with a non-shiny.
This does put a smile on my face.
Yo, Blue Ranger, well, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. How many shiny checks do you roughly get in a stream? No, I honestly don't know what this one is because I've been streaming it, and a lot of times I like look at chat and it's very inconsistent, and this is a more inconsistent set of hunts. If I were to do this off stream, I'd probably be able to figure out how many I roughly get an hour, but yeah, on stream it's kind of different every time, and it also varies based on the hunt. Like, if I'm not doing these hunts, I get more encounters on stream. And it also depends on how long I'm streaming for, so I can't really give you a solid answer. We started at 3550 today, though, for Mew. Whoops, went too far on that one. Makes it hard to do a full living dex on one game, but you can't just use box to get around it. But you can just use box to get around it. Wait, what do you mean by that? Once you start multi-system hunting, it's hard to go back to single hunting, because you just realize how much slower single hunting is. Also, in case anyone's wondering, there's a solid chance I will be streaming Rumble later today. Because it's Rumble weekend. I just really wanted to do this Mew hunt today. These are hunts I feel like I really gotta get done. So I guess stay tuned for that. I'll be going offline. Like, I'll have to go, like, get food and stuff. But then, I'll be probably back and doing Rumble for Rumble weekend. If you do multi-hunts, you try to trade the trade evolution Pokies and they just evolve. You can't have them all in one game. Oh, I see.
This does put a smile on my face.
Yo, Jacob David Berman, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I'm guessing... So, like, all of my trade evolution ones are all on my Leaf Green. I'm guessing I might have just got them as their pre-evolved forms and then traded them before evolving them. But I feel like that's not the case. There's no way I did that, because I feel like I should have known about that glitch. Like, I'm pretty sure I did do a trade with an Everstone and it was fine. Unless it's just a chance... It could just be a chance of happening. It might not be a consistent thing. Yo, Wiggly Waffles, thank you for the shiny luck. Oh, you Jacob, because your username is Jacob David Berman for Twitch only. Interesting. Oh, I miss it then, as it will be probably after midnight and you're asleep by then. Nah, it's all good. The VOD will be up. I'll probably highlight all the shinies we get. I'm probably going to do kind of like a low-key Rumble weekend again. I think last Rumble weekend I got 6. I think that's my goal for this weekend is like 6. Like, we're not going to be hitting like 18. We're not going to be hitting like 12 plus. Like, I'll be happy with like 6. Because I just started my alpha quest thing that I'm doing. I'm doing my Motorstoke gym hunt. I'm doing this hunt. Like, I got a lot on my plate right now. It's hard for me to want to just, like, for a full weekend, just only do Rumble, you know? Hope you get the shiny Mew before the 3S online services go offline. I'm sure I will. It's because, I mean, we still have a good few months for that, and also, even if they do go offline, that doesn't affect anything. I just won't be able to, like, I guess, Wonder Trade the Mew away on the 3DS if that happens, which I wouldn't do anyway. Yeah, I gotta do the Gen 6 Living Dex, though. That one is gonna be a little, like... I probably won't start that till sometime next week. Thor, thank you for the shiny luck. Yeah, no, I'm not ready to rumble. Rome. If you end up testing the trade evolution glitch, let us know. Yeah, I'll have to test it with, like, some non-shinies, see what happens. You can just catch Haunter in, like, Fire Red Leaf Green. I should duplicate the Everstones as well, just so I can have, like, a supply of them. I'd have to do that in these games, though. So maybe I just hold on to one Everstone and then duplicate it later. Even Nintendo stated the bank will work after... Yeah, we just don't know for how long. It will shut down at some point. We just don't know when. Because again, Pokemon only loses money keeping bank up because they can't charge for it anymore. So... it's honestly, we should be grateful they've had it up for this long. You're not ready to rumble? Very sad. Yeah, Diamond Pearl Platinum had the Haunter with the Everstone. Yeah, I never did that trade. I was big brain. When I was a kid and I needed Haunter and couldn't trade, I did GTS and just did, like, I'd really, like, trade for Haunter. I'd be like, wait a minute. I could get someone to trade me a Haunter on GTS and it'll evolve. Because if you, like, try to look for Gengar, people would, like, only want legendaries and stuff, but everyone had Haunters. You could just catch Haunter in like, Diamond Pearl Platinum. So I traded the GTS for, like, those ones. I'd be like, wait, someone trading for a Kadabra right now? I did the big brain strats. Just joined. What game is this? It is... Isn't it listed as Emerald? On Twitch, it's listed as Scarlet and Violet, because Twitch is a little weird when it comes to what game you're playing. When it comes to Pokemon. You have a shiny Haunter, you're too scared to trade? Well, if it's not in Gen 3, and you give it an Everstone, it should be fine. Just don't trade Kadabra, even with an Everstone. Never do that. Did you know that the 3DS can natively play GBA games, you just doesn't have the slot for it? Interesting.
This does put a smile on my face.
Bluesling, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. If they had just kept the transfer as part of the game, we wouldn't have this problem. Yeah, I know. They wanted to make money off of it. Same thing will happen to Home one day. I'm curious if the next transfer system will be, like, a local game. Because of this. Like, they could just, like, they could still make money. They just sell, like, because they had Pokemon Box, Ruby, and Sapphire. Make a game like that. Like, make an actual cartridge that's, like, what stores your game, your like, stuff on. Not a server. It's in Fire Red Leaf Green. Alright, well, I'll let you know next stream if I test it. Well, next stream will probably be Rumble. I probably won't have time to test it until after that stream. But, like, maybe, like, another day this week. I'll try it specifically with Haunter, because Haunter you can just catch wild. What game what game are you trading to and from? I'll like replicate the exact same thing. Sell Home 2 for $60. Still crazy expensive, but definitely better than a subscription. Yeah, I mean, I've spent more than $60 on just Home subscriptions. How long has Home been out? Home's been out for 5 years now. So I've spent more than $60 on Home subscriptions now. That's the thing, though. They make more money off of that, which is why they do it. That's why so many. That's why we have so many like streaming services and stuff now. Like, there's just so much more money to be made in that industry, like with subscriptions and stuff. Even though it's in every way the worst option. A 3DS game for Pokemon Bank, that's brilliant. They could still sell to make it. Will they, though? That's the thing. Like, will they? I don't think so. Also, how would Transporter work? You would have to, like, have 2 cartridges in your DS at the same time for that to work. What's up, Echo? Welcome in. To Leaf Green and from Fire Red. Alright, cool. That's what I do most of my trades with. My main file I have shinies on is Leaf Green. So I'd have to, like, catch one in Fire Red and trade to Leaf Green, because that's be what I'd do normally. Whoops. Double the money. I mean, like, you could make it so that if it is, like, a cartridge, you just have to do, like, a DS download play type thing, but I think they're kind of done with the 3DS. Like, I don't think they're going to make new software for the 3DS or anything. I think, if anything, they'll just convert Bank to be an offline system, but I still can't see them doing that. Subscription-based anti-consumer fun, yeah. Yeah, just so you guys know, and whenever you have the opportunity, buy physical copies of stuff. It's always the better option. Even if on the surface it seems more expensive, it's better to own it tangibly, like, actually have it, know it's not going to get altered in any way, and it'll stay relevant for you indefinitely. You'll probably have all your Vivian eggs ready today or tomorrow. Oh, nice. Sweet. Yeah, I'll just have to have you trade them to my Y copy, because I have that copy already played through and stuff. I might have to see if I might need to catch some stuff in order to have enough to trade. I don't even know what I have on my Y copy. How can they make Bank and offline? How would that work? Also, Bank to Home. So if they make Bank offline, they could just have the data instead of having your bank data stored on an external server that's in some warehouse far away, they just have it downloaded to your SD card. Just have a download thing. Like, when you open Bank, be like, download all this data to have Bank offline to your SD card, and just have enough storage on your SD card, which I don't think it's much. But again, I can't see them doing that, but I think that'd be the best thing they could do. Yeah, these are Spanish copies of Emerald. You hit 3,500 on Mew last night? You're in for the long haul with you? Nice. I just hope I get it anywhere under odds, because, like, I've only had one under odds hunt in Emerald. All my other ones have been, like, way over odds, except for one. How many shinies did I get on Emerald? I got 4 of the Geodude line, and then Shuppet. So 5. I got 5 shinies on Emerald, and only one of them was under odds. One of them was slightly over odds, and the rest were, like, my longest ever hunts for, like, everything. So, like, I really hope this one is, if it's gonna go over odds, I hope it's less than 10k. We're almost half odds, and I feel like we haven't been hunting for crazy long, so, you know, maybe soon. Whoa. Didn't run into the grass on that one. I'm bad at this now. Also, I need to interact with my buddy in Pokemon Go again. I need to get this thing excited, and it's been a half hour already since I started. Transfer work with local Wi-Fi. Yeah, exactly. Like you just go from like your Switch to bank, or like bank 3DS to Switch. Just do it over your like local server, like your local Wi-Fi or whatever. Same with like how trading works and stuff. You know. Like, I feel like that would make so much sense, but it's like, I just can't see them working on that. Like, working on that as a thing. Oh, I got my Fearow excited. That's cool. Now I gotta play with it and have it battle a few times. Oh, Fearow is annoying to play with. Alright, nice. Wonder if publishers can even push updates for things like the bank to 3DS eShop at this. I have no idea, honestly. I don't know how it works. I did recently update, like, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, though. Alright, I battled with Fearow, now I gotta add these 2 encounters of Bidoof that I just got. It's the one thing that sucks about using your phone as a counter. You like want to do anything else on your phone, you have to like remember to add the stuff, or like pause on your hunt. They would have to do that by April then, right? Maybe. I mean, maybe they do something on Pokemon Day, you know? eShop on 3DS no longer works at all, so you just have to be a cartridge. The eShop works in some ways. It was just discovered, someone in chat was like tested. Who was it who tested it? That you can still download Poke Transporter from the eShop if you have bank, even though the eShop got shut down. Nice hack, Mew. It's not hacked. I would have had to use an external device to get it to hack it. I didn't hack it. There was no external device used to get this Mew. Your second ever 8K hunt right now, and you're at 22.5K. My first ever 1-in-8192 hunt was 24,000, almost 25,000, and then my second one I went 18,000, and then realized I couldn't get it shiny because of dead battery in Ruby, and I was doing resets. So you got this, don't worry. It could be worse. Why don't they love us Gen 1 through 7ers? Yeah, it is crazy, because like on one hand, it's like, there's without a doubt they're going to shut bank down. On the other hand, it's like, are they really going to just like sever the connectivity between most of the franchise and the modern games? Like, that would be crazy bad. What do I use to keep track during hunts? So on OBS right now, what you're seeing on screen, I use its death counter and soundboard. It's a Windows app. This is it's just called Counter Plus. I actually find it funny how many people ask about like what counter I use for like hunts on like my phone and stuff, when it's like the way I found that app, I just searched counter on the App Store and it was like the first result. Nice hack, Mew. Oh dear, they're not a knower. Either that or they just want to be a troll. Dude, there's always like that one person that, like, again, we were talking about this earlier. There's always that one person that's super strict on legitimacy. There's always those like weirdos that are super strict on legitimacy. It remains Japanese exclusive, so event remains Japanese exclusive, so it hack. So it hack. I like your English, how you're just like not good at speaking it. And also, I don't think you know what a hack is. At least call it what it is. I used a glitch to unlock the event. But it's not a hack. And it's still a legal Mew. It'll still send into bank and home with no issues. So, who cares? Still hunting it legitimately. To be honest, if it passes through bank, it's legit enough. That's kind of how I feel. It's like, legitimacy is like, kind of like a personal opinion thing. Like, it's kind of just whatever your morals are for legitimacy, what you care to do. But again, there's perfect example. We got Nincompoop, which is a very fitting name, honestly, in chat right now, on YouTube. And I always bring up those weirdos that are just super strict on legitimacy, which, like, I mean, that's your opinion, but you don't have to be like weird to other people about it. Like, if you want to do everything as legit as possible, like, respect, 100% respect. I know people that do that, and nothing but respect to them, but going around being like weird to other people that aren't doing it the exact way you are is very weird and very gatekeepy. I'm sure they're not in chat anymore. They're probably gone. They came to get their few troll things in because they're just so hilarious. People have weird senses of humor. Or they just want attention. Little do they know it's the Bidoof hunt that's hacked. Yeah, you actually can't get Bidoof on this route normally under these circumstances. Bidoof is the wrong level. I just wanted it to be the right level. Can you imagine if I hacked in, like, different encounters to hunt Bidoof? That'd be wild. Saphir, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Egg Hunt at 18k. What if you're doing something wrong and you can never shine? No, you should be fine. Fire Red, Leaf Green doesn't have any issues with RNG. But, I mean, that's how I felt when I started shiny hunting, because I didn't really know how shinies worked. Simply playing the game, some guy in chat. That's not how Nintendo wanted. Brother, Nintendo don't even give a crap about the games. Intended is just get shiny super easy and then don't hunt any legendaries or mythicals. That's how Game Freak intended, apparently. The Mew event was not released in European games. How do I get there? So you have to do... There's like these Pomag Berry glitches and stuff that can give you the event items. And then you have to do a bunch of other glitches to like make the event flags get unlocked. I know how to do it on... It's different between languages. I know how to do it on the non-English European copies. And I do have videos on it on my channel. But I don't know how to do it for English and Japanese. I'm pretty sure it is possible, and if not, like, even then, I think it's like easier to do on English and Japanese. I just have never looked into it, so I don't know. Other than that, you can actually hack and use like a Game Shark or something to get the event item. You don't need anything external, legit enough, kind of why you're hesitant to egg hunt with box. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, because it's like... The issue is it's still like the same game. It's just like... You can't buy the actual authentic game because it's so expensive, which is ridiculous. But I get you wanting it to do it that way. You don't care how legal it is, you're just curious. You also have the games in Spanish, you want to know how to get there. Yeah, so I have videos on my YouTube channel on like how to do it. It's very hard to explain. And also, fair warning if you want to know. I didn't like script anything out back then, so their videos might be a little unnecessarily long and kind of cringe, but I do have it. You wouldn't count the Mew as legit, but as long as it's not on my account, you don't care. Exactly. I count this Mew as legit as it can be because it's literally the same event that's in game. And there's no other way to... there's not like a fully 100% way to shiny hunt Mew legit. Like, there just isn't. So you gotta do the next best thing if you want it. You know? Like, you would argue that if it's not 100% legit, but as long as you actually do the hunt, who cares? Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. That's how you got your shiny Mew in Red Virtual Console. Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, as long as I'm not, like, forcing it to be shiny and I'm getting, like, the actual, like, rolls, like, 1 in 8, 192, like, that's all I care about. And as long as the Mew is legal, it sends into bank and home just fine, which I've already tested, and it does. So, I have no reason to, like, not want to do this hunt. Shiny locking the Legends of Scarlet and Violet is a bad move on Game Freak's part. Yeah, but they've done that for so long, it's just even worse of a move now. They don't realize how bad it is for them that they shiny locked them. They see it as a way to keep people engaged in their game, but it does the opposite. You'll admit at no point did Game Freak intended people to hunt eggs using boxers, why we can hunt Manaphy. Yeah, that's true. They did change the way eggs work eventually. I'm pretty sure in the modern games they don't work the same. You like Miyamoto? Whoever coded Mew in Red Blue Yellow added it. Isn't Miyamoto's the Nintendo guy, right? And then isn't it Morimoto? Is the Game Freak guy? Who coded Mew in Red Blue added it intentionally for us to hunt. Oh, I don't think they coded it for us to hunt. No. I think the legitness a kid would agree. that this is a legit hunt. I feel like anyone with half a brain cell would just be like, here's the thing, like what I just said before. You can't fully 100% legitimately shiny hunt Mew in any way. You can get event Mews 100% legit, but which I already have. I already have the Pokemon Go shiny Mew, like 100% legit. But you can't fully, like, 100% legit shiny hunt Mew. But this is the next best thing, and it's still, like, legal. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I try to do things as legit as possible, but there's just some things you have to, like, work around if you want to have them. But if you're strict on it, that's your MO. Like, that's totally fine. Just don't be weird to other people, you know? Have you ever got a shiny at odds? No, I have not. The weirdest one right now for me was this Sizzlipede. This Sizzlipede was full odds, but it came at exactly shiny charm odds. So like it wasn't at odds, but it was like still kind of crazy. And then in terms of like 1 in 8, 192, my closest to odds was a Bulbasaur. One of my Bulbasaurs took 8,200. It was like 8,222. It was like exactly 30 over odds. And then for 1 in 4096, it was, I'm pretty sure, my Drifloon in BDSP, which was at 4,041. So it was like 55 under odds. So those are like the closest I've gotten to odds, and then that Sizzlipede just was like a goofy little thing. The elitism about legitimate Pokemon is so funny to me. It's so funny, especially coming from people that like have the whole mindset that people who full odds hunt are elitists. Like it's so hypocritical. Thor, thank you for the shiny luck and good night to you. Thank you for hanging out. That is necessary. The person who tested it had downloaded it before the eShop closed. They tested it. See if you can re-download Poké Transport and delete it because they were embedded links. Yeah. So you can still re-download Poké Transporter if you have Bank already, and you can re-download purchase software already if you've deleted them. What's your shortest hunt ever? You got a shiny Torchic in 10 minutes while setting up a hunt and not counting a few weeks ago. So I don't count time based on shortest hunt. I go off of encounters. My shortest 1 in 8192 was 78. It was for a Hitmonlee in Leaf Green. And what was even crazier is that it was on the same game that got the last shiny, and they were only, for that specific game, they were only like 20 or so encounters apart. Like 20 to 30, I forget how much it was, encounters apart from each other. For 1 in 4096, it was Cloth, which took 60. Which I recently got. And then I also got a 92 for Ekans recently as well. 1 in 8192. In terms of time, it's tough to say because obviously it's like probably any sandwich hunt I've done in Scarlet and Violet. But in terms of full odds, in terms of time, it's probably the Nidoran male I got from my second Safari week. I got like 3 Nidoran males on the Safari week. One of them only took like 100 encounters, but I was using 6 games. And it literally only took like, I think like 2 minutes to find. So I think that's like everything I can remember as like my quote-unquote fastest hunts. Personal canon is Mew glitch. Mew in red, blue, yellow is intentional. Mew sees you teleport away from a trainer battle and is like, oh, I do that. Yeah, that's funny.
This does put a smile on my
Axolotl,
face.
thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. Another example, you're hoping to hunt Manaphy soon, but in order to gain access to the eggs, you end up playing Ranger off SD card since it was the only one for... Yeah. I have 6, like, authentic copies of Ranger that I got Manaphy eggs from, except for one. One of them, the egg was already taken off of. And I didn't have means of, like, wiping an SD card, or, like, a DS card. Apparently, if you homebrew a 3DS, you do have means of, like, wiping it, and you can, like, play through it again in order to, like, get more Manaphy eggs. So maybe moving forward, I could, like, back up the save or something and then use, like, authentic cartridges for the rest of them. But again, they're still, like, backing up and whatnot, so, you know. I ended up using an R4 card for the, like, remaining, like, 3 eggs or whatever that I have. Still legitimately got the eggs. I just didn't use full 100% authentic hardware for all of them. Only for 5 of them. Like, oh no, only 5 of them were 100% like, authentic and legit. What a shot. What a shame. Dude, I just freaked out because my Shuppet and Banette sparkled right as that Bidoof went across the screen. And I was like, what? Have I personally had more over than under? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'd have to go through all of, like, my full odds hunts. I only keep track of full odds now because that's just what I'd like to do. Especially with, like, Scarlet and Violet, like, doing method hunts, you just can't keep track of, like, 99% of them. I'd have to go through, like, all my full odds hunts and, like, see what I got them at, but last year, I was more over than under. I would assume I'm probably around average. That's how most people are. It's just how odds work. You're also going to have to play one of the Platinum games off the SD card. One of the Platinum games. Like, for the Manaphy hunt, I would recommend doing Diamond and Pearl. It's faster in Diamond and Pearl. There's a lot more you have to do before getting to Sand Gem Town in Platinum and, like, more dialogue and stuff, so... Diamond and Pearl, despite being slower-paced games, it's faster for the Manaphy hunt to use those. Your first encounter... your first one-encounter shiny was when you did your first Masuda Method Fletchling and ORAS back in 2015. Nice. I've never gotten a first encounter shiny unless you count, like, a random shiny. Where, like, you get on a route and you do, like, you accidentally get an encounter and it's a shiny. Like, I've done that a couple times, but... never, like, started a hunt and been, like, gotten it first encounter. Also, if you want to be really technical about short hunts, I was talking about this earlier, but I got a shiny Abra in one set of resets, but it took like 200 something bought from the game corner across 4 games. So wasn't like my fastest in terms of time or encounters, but it was like in terms of resets, it was my fastest. You got lucky with a Ranger copy. It was fun to play through. Never got back. Got lucky with a Ranger copy. It was fun to play through. Ranger's still pretty inexpensive. What's up, Matt? How you doing? I'm doing all right today. Trying to get a shiny today. We'll probably do some Rumble hunting later because it's Rumble weekend. Whoops. Oh, well, you have to use at least one copy of Platinum regardless, since you have to borrow the game from the second DS from your friend. Oh. Yeah, I think I have a Platinum in my rotation. Recently, you got 2 Dexnav Numel in 3 encounters, which was kind of crazy. No charm. That is pretty crazy. You go off of encounters too, but you didn't get a count the that one. Your shortest one in 1365 was like 3 for Duraludon and 4 for Pheromosa. That's crazy. Yeah, I haven't gotten a single digit hunt unless you really want to be technical. Like there's been times where, like for Scarlet and Violet when I'm doing a mark hunt and I'll like do a sandwich to get like the max odds and stuff. Like sometimes like the first encounter I see is shiny. But in terms of like full odds, which is what I keep track of, like, you know, my shortest ever full odds across both 1 in 8192 and 1 in 496 is 60 for the cloth. TBH, who cares about shiny Mew? Triple hunt Bidoof. The reason why I'm not multi-hunting Bidoof is because I'm trying to recreate like my childhood shiny Bidoof from Pearl. My original copy of Pearl was I got a shiny Bidoof on it. I didn't have multiple systems. It was on specifically Pearl. So I have this copy of Pearl that I'm specifically hunting Bidoof on, single hunting. Like I could do like 4 times hunting Bidoof, but I just want to get it on this one game specifically. They don't use RNG and why? Because I like the idea, like the reason why shinies are cool for me is because they're rare. And even though I know RNG abuse isn't the easiest thing in the world, it removes the rarity of shinies. So it's something I'm just never interested in. It's something I don't really find super impressive either. Like, I'm sorry for those who RNG abuse. It's just how I am. It's one of the main reasons I don't like shiny hunting in Scarlet and Violet. I think they made shinies too easy in that game. Like, it just isn't fun for me anymore. I like the thrill of finding something really rare in a collection game. By the way, you were able to get that own tempo Rockruff from the GTS. Nice, good luck. And if anyone's wondering, like, if anyone needs to do this before the online services go down, if you did not get the event and you're doing my Living Dex challenge the way I'm doing it, where I'm getting Pokemon from their original games, if you didn't get the event Rockruff with own tempo, the only way to get it in Ultra Sun Ultra Moon currently is by using the GTS, like by trading people online, which will be unavailable starting April 8th. So get that in if you check your Ultra Sun Ultra Moon games to see if you have own tempo Rockruff. And get on it if you don't. You have a 3DS XL and want to get into shiny hunting, maybe if you get another 3DS or invest into DS Lites. DS Lites are a lot cheaper, and DS Lites are probably the best bang for your buck. They're a lot cheaper, and you can play DS and Game Boy games on them. But it depends on what games you have access to. Probably RNG one Pokemon someday, but it would be like after Bank shuts down, it would be for a shiny you've already obtained. I've like toyed with the idea of like using RNG abuse to get a cute charm glitch file in Gen 4, but the more I think about it, the more I'd probably think it'd be fun for like 20 minutes, and then I probably would get bored of it. You definitely agree. I think Scarlet and Violet took the fun out of shiny hunting. And even if you don't agree with like how easy they are, there's still like there's very few different ways to shiny hunt in Scarlet and Violet. Like it's pretty much just run around using sandwiches or breeding. And then if you want to do the resets, like the thing is like the breeding and resets are like not worth it if you want to get the shinies efficiently. So it's like, you know, there's not much variety. It's boring and too easy. Would I soft reset for shiny stellar Terra Pokemon? I mean, if it's a cool hunt, then yes. I've already soft resetted for a fixed encounter Cloth. You love shiny in X and Y because it's so cozy. I really want to get back into shiny hunting in Gen 7. I want to do like a DTQ for Gen 7. I think that'd be really fun. I think like peak Pokemon like gameplay and stuff was like the 3DS era. Obviously, my favorite games to shiny hunt in are Fire Red, Leaf Green. But, like, there's a lot to love about the 3DS era in terms of, like, shiny hunting, and then, obviously, like, more polished mechanics and stuff, unique methods, variety of methods for shiny hunting, like... Would you suffer... Oh, I already read that. Don't forget about all the unobtainable Pokemon lines in Gen 7 that you need to transfer. I was the one who made the video on that, so I'm well aware. I forgot, it was quickly reminded to me when I posted that video, but I left out Spinda. You can hunt shiny Spinda in BDSP, but you can't get one in home on the Switch. It has to be from an earlier game because of the way they messed up Spinda in BDSP, which is such a shame. Statistically, 50% of hunts end before 56.78, so overall it's likely that the majority of hunts finish under odds, but your average length is close to A192. I mean, I couldn't tell you for sure. It is completely random, so like I could say estimated-wise, that's probably correct, but I mean, I had a pretty unfortunate year of shiny hunting last year. You actually needed that Rockruff? Nice, get on it. What other trades should we keep in mind for Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon? How does the Ash Greninja work? I don't remember that one. I think that one just uses Bank though. I don't think that uses trades. I'm gonna have to do that for my Gen 6 living decks. Personally, say what you want, but you actually love Gen 6 for everything. I don't see myself playing Gen 6 that often, but I see myself going back to them to do shiny hunts because I still like enjoy Gen 6, you know? I'm about to do a Gen 6 living deck. So Gen 6 is one of those generations that I just don't have a ton of experience with because it was like I didn't have a crazy ton of experience with Gen 2. I really had not much experience with Gen 5. Gen 6 is one of those gens that I just don't have that much experience with because I didn't get back into Pokemon until, like, the end of the Gen 6 era. So, like, I'll probably have a better appreciation for Gen 6 once I do this Living Dex video. You're only using Scarlet and Violet, F9R Pokemon. I don't know what F9R means. Exclusive to that game. If others happen to appear, I'll catch them and add them to the Living Dex, but now I'll just get those from your 3DS. Yeah, that's kind of how I will go about Gen 9, but at the same time, if they go back to traditional encounters, I kind of want to wait and see. Because, like, I'd rather just hunt Gen 9 Pokemon in, like, a different game that they appear in eventually. I would love to do a DCQ for Ultra Sun, but it would be single hunting, which would take forever. Yeah. Some would be cool. Like I would say do at least hunt like the Crabrawler from the berry pile in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon single hunted. Like that one could be done like pretty efficiently single hunted. Because it's just runaways. It's really fast. You went for Salazzle? That'd be a tough one. Gen 5 or 6 were the main games you put a lot of time into. Yeah, it's just, like, I started in Gen 4 and 3. Like, my first mainline game was Pearl, and then I got Ruby after. And then I got Platinum. And then that's when I was kind of, like, not really playing the mainline games anymore. Like, I didn't get Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I didn't get Black White, Black 2, White 2. I didn't get X and Y. Like, I got back into it with Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. And then I ended up buying X and Y later. But then Sun and Moon were, like, the newest games. So, like, when I was back in the series, like, Sun and Moon were the newest games. So I, like, played through those, and I have a lot more experience with them. Oh, it was meant to say 4? Oh, I see. What did they do to Spinda? They messed up the algorithm that determines its patterns. So, instead of fixing it, they just locked Spinda out of home and from BDSP. Like, you can't put Spinda from home into BDSP, and you can't take Spinda from BDSP out of it into home. It's a shame, and it's a shame that they never fixed it. Same goes for Nincada. You can't do it with Nincada because apparently there was like a duplication glitch with evolving Shedinja, like getting the Shedinja. Yeah, RNG in Emerald is broken, but if you don't know how it works, then just don't do reset hunts, and we're not doing reset hunts. Like that's the easiest way to put it. There's a lot of info that I could explain here all day on how it works. But just know that you can find shinies in Emerald. Just don't do reset hunts if you don't know what you're doing. Ask your Ninja. Yeah, I know it's from the demo. I think you just put it in bank once you get it. I don't think you have to trade for it. I think the Own Tempo Rockruff's the only one you really have to like worry about. Like an event exclusive form that you can't get anymore from their original games, essentially. You're just here to say nice hands and great content? Thanks. First experience with Pokemon was Black and White when you were 10 or 11. My first experience with Pokemon was like before I can remember. We had like Pokemon Snap and Stadium for the N64. My first mainline game was Pearl. Eventually go for no mark shinies and Gen... You will eventually go for no mark shinies in Gen 9, specifically in a full odds, obviously. What do you mean by no mark shinies? Like, you just, like, intentionally trying to avoid marks? That seems kind of silly. Or you mean, like, right now you're doing, like, boosted odds for marks, and then later you just won't care, and you'll just go for full odds. Your living decks will be from the Virtual Console, GBA, DS, 3DS, and whatever Wi-Fi events are available. You agree if you're actually doing the hunt. Doesn't really matter if an item glitched imported. Yeah. And I mean, I'm being a little weird myself. Like, for example, I shiny hunted Shaman and Darkrai on my Platinum version, and I used an action replay to get the event items. I hunted them legitimately, but I used them to get... I got the items with an action replay. I have the official event items from the events in BDSP, and I plan to rehunt both of them just to, like, get them fully legitimate. Just to say I have done it fully legitimate if I have the option. Like, if the option arises, like, yeah. Like, if they eventually, like, re-release this on Virtual... I don't know if I'd rehunt this one. But if they were to, like, officially release this on Virtual Console and make it fully legit, then, like... I don't know if I'd rehunt it, but I'd consider it. At least Shame and I have a reason to rehunt. Dude, those Starlies look shiny going across on OBS. I had to do a double take on that one. I'll rehunt Shaman because I need it for the Sky form, to have both forms. Darkrai, I'll just be like, well, I have the event, might as well hunt it. Take advantage of the event. You don't really get too many opportunities to shiny hunt a mythical legitimately. I mean, you're single hunting Pokemon X with only single hunting, but it's manageable with Horde encounters. Yeah, Horde encounters are great. First Pokemon game was Crystal, then Gen 3. Got the chance to really play Gen 4. Never got the chance to really play Gen 4, aside from Heart Gold, Soul Silver, which should continue from there. Gen 4 is the most nostalgic generation for me, because it's what I started with. What's the easiest way to get to Mew Island? I guess use a cheating device. That's probably the easiest way. Yeah, we're doing Runaways. So when you reset your game, I mean, I could try to give like a Cliff Notes version on like how it works. So Emerald's RNG is broken. It always sets its seed to like 0 when you boot it up. When other games, it's random, like what your seed is. So when your game's like seed is set to 0, essentially the frames are they're gonna be like they're essentially predetermined frames. So like your game runs at 60 FPS, it'll start at like frame 0 and go till however long you're going for. And they're like predetermined, there's predetermined shiny frames, and you essentially have to hit those shiny frames to get a shiny. It sounds scarier than it is, because again, when the game runs at 60 FPS, you encounter, with a 1 in 8192 chance, you encounter a shiny frame like every 2 to 2.5 minutes on average, and we've been hunting for like hours, so we've passed tons of shiny frames. We just have to get lucky and hit it. So it's like, we're essentially seeing different... It's very hard to hit the same frame over and over again when you're like just letting your game run like this. So the odds of us hitting a similar frame that we hit before, very unrealistic to expect we're doing that. So as far as we're concerned, every frame we're seeing, every time we encounter a Mew, it's a different Mew every time. So it's pretty much exactly the same as shiny hunting in any other game. But when you do a reset hunt, because you're resetting your game, your soft resetting, it sets your frames back to like 0 every time. And you only there's only so much variation you can get in those resets, because you're only going to do like a couple seconds to get the encounter after loading your game up every time. So you're going to be seeing a lot of RNG clones, because you're just going to be cycling through the same like 60 frames or like 70, 80, 90, 100 frames every time, you know? So that's why you just can't do reset hunts. There are ways around it, but again, like that's why I say if you don't know what you're doing, just don't do reset hunts and you're fine. If you know what you're doing, you can do reset hunts in Emerald, but in my opinion, it's probably not worth it unless you really want the challenge. Your hiatus was the entire black and white through 3DS era. Violet got you back into it. Violet got you back into it. Dang, that's crazy. What are your thoughts on Scarlet and Violet? I'm curious. For someone who like got back into Pokemon with them, what are your thoughts on those games? Because I know they're very polarizing games. Like, not even aside from shiny hunting. I think Zygarde has its own forms too, but you're not too sure. Yeah, Zygarde has its own forms, but you don't need to like trade for it. You can just like restart save files, which I have to play through multiple times. I have to play through multiple times anyway, because I gotta get Xerneas and Yveltal, so... You don't have... The issue with Rockruff is that Own Tempo Rockruff and Lycanroc, obviously, are considered extra separate forms, but Own Tempo Rockruff was an event-exclusive Pokemon. Like, you can't just catch it in-game. All the other Pokemon you can just, like, catch in-game. You don't foresee them doing traditional encounters, unfortunately. I think they might. I think they might, at least for certain remake games. But, I don't know. I feel like if Scarlet and Violet taught them anything, it's that something didn't work with that game, and they might be more inclined to do traditional encounters. I think traditional encounters work better with, like, Pokemon mechanics. I think if they want to, like, do open world and like change the formula and stuff, have it be like Legends. Like Legends was like a different game, like entirely. Yeah, it still connects to the mainline games, but it's like a different game, and it is considered a mainline game. But it's like you had BDSP, and then Legends was right after it, and it was just a different experience in Sinnoh. And I feel like they need to, if they want to do open world, it needs to be more like that as opposed to that being the norm. Like it needs to be like a better polished thing that happens every few games or so, as opposed to every game needs to be like open world and stuff now, and overworld. Like, So, I don't know. To me, it seems like a no-brainer that they will go back to traditional at some point, but at the same time, I could see them keep trying to push this whole open world thing that I really don't think is working with the franchise. Definitely want to attempt a full odds personality mark in the future. That'd be a good one if you got it. Good luck. You're not hunting in Gen 9 at the moment. Someday you will, and since shinies are so easy, you'll avoid marks to make them a little more uncommon. Yeah, but marks are like a little more uncommon. I think it would make more sense to only do mark shinies that are full odds. And just don't get mark charm and don't get... No, you can at least do title power. If you... Getting a full odd shiny with a mark without mark charm or title power is actually ridiculously rare still. What do you think about playing on an emulator and getting shinies on an emulator? I personally don't do it, but I don't have an issue with other people doing it because I understand that these games are like really expensive and some people don't have access to it. I prefer physical cartridges because I like the connectivity between the games. I started getting back into the series on an emulator, and once I realized that I had the physical game, I was like, oh wait, I can just play the physical game. And when I realized how connected they were, and I could send them into Platinum, I could send them into this game, like it just made me appreciate it more. So I don't have a reason to go back to emulator. In my opinion, though, like if you shiny hunt on an emulator, I think it's a little cheesy when you just duplicate the emulator 500 times to give yourself 100 encounters like every second. Like that's cheesy. And then also, if you speed up your game. Like, if you just don't do that, if you just give yourself, like, a single system or, like, multiple games. Like, even if you gave yourself, like, one of each game. Like, a Fire Red, a Leaf Green, a Ruby Sapphire Emerald emulator, and then ran all those at once. Like, I feel like that's totally fine. But as soon as you start, like, having, like, 60 Fire Reds on screen at the same time just to get a bunch of encounters, that's a bit cheesy, you know? Just because you can just do it by opening, like, more windows. Seoxys and Emerald or Ruby Sapphire? Or, yeah, Fancy Teapot answered that. It's Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Emerald. Yeah, Mew's only Emerald. You admit you wanted an open world Pokemon game until we got them. They're just so barren. Yeah, I kind of agree. And even but at the same time, I do think Legends Arceus still did it way better than Scarlet and Violet. And I think they can afford to do that on occasion if they just polish it a bit more. Like, that's kind of how I feel. Like, I don't want that for every game, but if they did it every now and then and polished it more, I think that could work. Legends Arceus, I think, works way better as an open-world game than Scarlet and Violet does. I've been enjoying playing Legends Arceus, going for my alphas and stuff. I have my issues with shiny hunting in it, but it's more fun to explore and, like, find Pokemon and, like, sneak up on Pokemon and stuff in that game. And, like, the mechanics work better than in Scarlet and Violet. You have not get Mew. We'll go get it. Honestly, spent most playtime on Violet. It's fun and obviously way different, but the older games still pull you back on nostalgia. Yeah. I feel like Scarlet and Violet would be... I mean, I'll always have my issues with how easy they make shinies in the newer games, but at least Scarlet and Violet, I think, would be more enjoyable if you could consistently get 30 FPS. It's, like, frustrating wanting to, like, do any simple thing in Scarlet and Violet and, like, nothing plays properly. Was annoying going back to Hub to go to another area. Yeah, like, again, like, it's not perfect, but I still think it was done way better than Scarlet and Violet. A lot more to enjoy in Legends than Scarlet and Violet. Your Deoxyses are the GameStop exclusive? Nice. It's a big ask for FPS. No, you would think it is, but it's not. I think it's absurd. I think every game... Like, dude, like, in our current reality, like, our time, our era, even 60 FPS consistent should just be a standard, if not more than 60 FPS. Fun fact about BDSP. Someone modded BDSP and had it run at 60 FPS. There's no issues with it. It can run perfectly fine at 60 FPS. It looks crazy. You do have to laugh that they make sure to patch out duplication glitches right away, but still haven't patched graphics. Well, they're not going to patch graphics, but if they need... The fact that the game still is, like, so choppy and whatnot... Like, apparently it's a simple fix, too. It's just, like, a result of memory leak, and if they just fix the memory leak, it, like, will fix it. It's just, like, they haven't done that. And I'm sure there's not going to be too many more updates to Scarlet and Violet now that they're done with all the DLC. So it's just going to always be the Pokemon game that doesn't run properly. The only thing about Legends is the battling was kind of trash. The battling was kind of trash, and the research level 10 raising your shiny odds was trash. And the outbreaks being as high shiny odds as they were was trash. Like, I think Scarlet and Violet's outbreak style would have worked better in Legends. Where, like, you have to catch or KO enough for them to, like, be boosted odds or something. Yeah, considering the games are $60, 60 FPS is a must. It's, like... And everyone always does the same thing, like, oh, the Switch can't handle it. The Switch can handle it. Maybe not a game like Scarlet and Violet at 60 FPS, but the Switch should for sure be able to handle Scarlet and Violet at 30 FPS consistently. It's just the optimization of the game. They just didn't polish it. And apparently they never will. Some people get a headache from the frames. Yeah, I don't suffer from, like, motion sickness or anything, so that doesn't affect me. Sometimes my eyes hurt when it lags too much. I was having, like... When I was hunting for the Mark Tatsugiri, I was having issues with, like, the frame rate dropping. Where it was, like, hurting my eyes. But I never got, like, sickness or I didn't get, like, full headaches or anything. Yeah, the performance will be fixed when they remake it in 6 generations. Yeah, true. You sure it feels like the issues with Scarlet and Violet are just performance-based more so than gameplay? See, you haven't been following me for very long then. I have tons of issues on the gameplay of Scarlet and Violet that I'm not going to get into because I kind of rant about it all the time. I don't need to keep ranting about it. But I have so many issues with the gameplay as well. Like, simplest, like, quickest way I could say it is that the mechanics are very dumbed down and there's no depth in them compared to past Pokemon games. And I think the open world and overworld aspect really is the cause of that. And the game just isn't as enjoyable to keep playing once you beat it as other Pokemon games. You just got a shiny Machop? Why is that sad? Congrats on the shiny Machop. It would have been fun if the Pokedex was the main story and the legendaries were the side quests. Yeah, no excuse when Tears of the Kingdom exists, exactly. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, the Switch is a very poor console when it comes to performance. But a game like Scarlet and Violet should be able to run consistently at 30 FPS on it with no issues. They'll re-release Scarlet and Violet with improved graphics on the Switch too, yeah. No, they'll do Scarlet and Violet 2. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Sparkling Scarlet and... would be a way to, like... Would be an adjective for that starts with V. Vibrant Violet. Sparkling Scarlet and Vibrant Violet are going to be the next games on the Switch too. Yikes. I'd probably just like shut my channel down and stop playing Pokemon forever. Oh, you wanted Numel. Oh, unfortunate. If you do horde hunting, you can, Are you horde hunting? Did you tell me you were horde hunting? I horde hunted for Numel. Numel is more common than Machop with horde hunting. I don't think it's like a ton more common though. So. Wasn't Let's Go more dumbed down than Scarlet and Violet? In terms of like battling, yeah, but in terms of like in-game mechanics, there's still a lot to like dissect in it. In-game mechanics in Scarlet and Violet is very surface level. There's not much to figure out about it besides the sandwiches, which got figured out in like a day. Like we literally like recently figured out how the legendary birds that spawn wild in Kanto in Let's Go like works. I thought they announced a graphical patch not long after the release. Yeah, they said that and then nothing happened. Or like a performance patch. Yeah, I think what they did was they were like, "Oh, we're gonna fix the game." And by them fixing the game, that was here, the game won't crash as often as it does now. I think that's what it was. Cuz they did have a patch that like made it so that your game wouldn't crash as often in like certain areas because of like the amount of spawns there were. I know basically what memory leak is, but it still brings to mind an image of RAM fluid or something. Such nonsense. Yeah, praise Anubis. Anubis finds out so much info on these games. Dude, that's why I love Sword and Shield, man. Anubis, like, a few months ago, found out how the Whale Lord on the Isle of Armor worked. That was something that was, like, discussed for years. Like, you don't get any of that in Scarlet and Violet, besides, like, mark odds. Which are, like, pretty clear-cut anyway. How long did it take you to obtain an old C map, and what tutorial did you use? Thanks. I have a tutorial on my YouTube channel, and I reference a video by Sleipner, if I pronounce the name correctly. They have a whole bunch of info on like getting event Pokemon in those games via glitches and stuff. And this specific one didn't take me long because I became a master at it. But it takes a lot to know. They really want anything else but another Scarlet and Violet game. Yeah, I really hope they don't do any other games like Scarlet and Violet, if I'm being honest. Like, it was fun to play through the first time. But I could say that about any Pokemon game. And then after that, it's just like, at least with other Pokemon games, it feels like more fun to get into the post-game. Scarlet and Violet, you get to the post-game, and you're just like, well, that's it. Now I can spend 5 minutes getting a shiny. Like, oh boy. Palworld low-key based for naming a Pokemon after Anubis. Yeah, I don't know about that. Pretty sure they're not referring to the Twitter user. You are horde hunting, you just got unlucky, yeah. Yeah, I think it's like 35 to like 65 or something. I did that same hunt, and I got Numel my first phase. Which is what I wanted. Ironically, because, you know, you guys know me with Numel. Then I didn't think I'd get 5 of them on the Turkle hunt. Doing an Extreme Team quest, currently chain fishing for Clauncher. Nice, good luck. That's such a cool shiny. Gen 6 has some really cool shinies. I'm getting dangerously close to passing up Bidoof with the Mew hunt. Which, if you really think about it, combined, we're over odds. Something's got to pop soon, right? New subscriber, love the videos. You're starting with Gen 3 and making a living dex move up from each gen. Starting Gen 3 and finishing at home. Nice, good luck. It was wild when I found out how to catch combo actually works. Yeah, like that's just like hidden mechanics that like you think work one way and then it's like, wait, this is actually totally different. And there's like a very specific way to do it. Same with like Sword and Shield's catch Brilliant method, which like, yeah, the Brilliant method and arguably the catch combo method, they're not the greatest shiny hunting methods, but the fact that it was just like these hidden mechanics that we didn't know for literally years and was just discovered, like that's exciting. Everything about Scarlet and Violet was figured out within the first week, and there's just like there's no sense of like wonder in it, and everything is so like, I mean, I hate to say it, everything's so easy to get. Rarity is extremely important in collection games, and they are kind of taking it away from everything. So I hope they learn from that. Do you think there will be one or Pokemon added in Scarlet and Violet with an event or something? Like they just add a Pokemon in an update? I don't think so. I think they're done adding Pokemon to Scarlet and Violet. I think Pekka was the last one. You've only just completed Scarlet and Violet a few months ago, and you've had the game since its release. It's over a year old now. It's wild. Do I like Pokeradar in 4th gen? I think it's a bit broken, but I like the idea. It's a cool way to get someone who's not keen on shiny hunting into shiny hunting, because it's like my cousin, I don't think he ever did it, but my cousin isn't like super big in Pokemon, and he's definitely not big in shiny hunting, but I could probably convince him to do a Pokeradar hunt because it's more of like a skill and strategy based thing than just luck. Obviously, there's still luck involved, but you can, like, really... If you know what you're doing, you can really make them effective. I also like that the Pokeradar, you can still, like, full odds hunt with it, and there's, like, cool challenges to arise with that. Like, there's variety with it. It's one of the most versatile, like, methods for shiny hunting. Like, in Sword, everyone thought the Justice Trio was shiny locked for the longest time as well. I don't think so. No, I think what you're referring to is a lot of people assumed that the Regis were affected by charm when they weren't. I remember so many people shiny hunting Reggie and the Regis and being like, I'm over 10,000 and stuff, and I have shiny charm. What the heck? And I'm like, there's no way this many people are going like near 10 times odds. Like, it's got to be full odds. And then later it was figured out that they were full odds no matter what. I don't know about the Swords of Justice, though. You feel nothing when getting shiny in Arceus, Scarlet, and Violet. It's why you hunt in older games. Yeah, I mean, I'll feel excitement if I find a full odd shiny in Legends, but it's very hard for me to find full odd shinies in Legends because most things are either research level 10 or what I'm currently doing, I'm going to Outbreaks to get, like, alphas, so... Like, we found one random shiny in Legends outside of an Outbreak, and it was a Wurmple, and it was 1 in 2048. Like, it would have been cooler if it was full odds. Their idea of rarity is locking shiny behind limited time events, or locking it all together. Yeah, no, it's stupid. Like, if they keep up how, like, easy it is to find shinies in these games and keep them as connected as they are, like, people are gonna have the full shiny living dex, and then let's say the next game comes out and it's just as easy, if not easier, to find shinies than in Scarlet and Violet. Most people who are just going for shiny living dexes just to have them are gonna complete them in, like, a week and then never touch the game again. Like, is that their idea of what they want their player base, to just play their game for a week and then that's it? Like, it's weird. Like, I feel like as a developer, you probably want people to sink so many more hours into it and then, like, Like, keep going, keep coming back to it. When I full odds on, I have a reason to keep going back to any game. You don't understand how people enjoy Scarlet and Violet more than Sword and Shield. Some people like the exploration factor a little more, which I get that. And then there's, in terms of shiny hunting, there's a lot of people that just care about getting the shiny. They don't care about the rarity, which I think is a little silly. I think the whole idea of a shiny is because it's rare. Because if not, then you should be happy with getting an East Sea Shellos over a West Sea one, right? Those are just different colors. Or a female Hippopotas. And then, like, as much as I hate Scarlet and Violet, the story was way better. Like, that's just a fact than Sword and Shield. So if people play the game just to play through the game, then most of those people are probably going to prefer Scarlet and Violet. Which I totally get. But again, outside of playing through the game, there is just not much that Scarlet and Violet has to offer. I feel like shiny hunters keep the games alive. They keep people playing the games, but most of their sales come from casuals that just play the game to play through them. So you have 2 full boxes filled with Gen 4 radar hunts.
Nice. Put a smile on my face.
Yo, Atem Vegeta, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. Personally, the main thing you don't like about Scarlet and Violet is that it was fully open world. I think Legends did it better at making areas. Yeah, I think if they're gonna tackle an open world like style Pokemon game, it needs to be more like Legends. Like it just needs to be more like Legends. Legends did it way better. If they want to do more core series games, do it more like Sword and Shield, but just have a better story. Like have like a few games here and there that are like open world Pokemon games that change up the formula. Like that'd be cool. What's up, Golden? Welcome in. Yeah, I still think Sword and Shield are the best mainline games on the Switch. They're the games I'm always the most excited to return to. And like, don't get me wrong, I think Legends Arceus is a great Pokemon game. But it just doesn't have that lasting power for me because of the shiny hunting in it. You're still happy Arceus Hunt was added, even though you didn't like BDSP. Hopefully Gen 5 gets that love. Yeah, I think BDSP, as like mediocre of games as they are, they still like, it's still crazy like what you can do with shiny hunting in those games. You want a shiny Mew so bad, I do too. Sword and Shield really was saved by its DLC. I disagree, but I do think the DLC helped it a lot. I don't think it was saved by it. Like, I still enjoyed Sword and Shield even without the DLC, but the DLC made it that much better for me. Are the legendary Pokemon you give the Eon ticket shiny locked? Yeah, no, they're not. Hordes generally are 60, 35, 5. Hordes of what? Good point. You agree both the open world is what really turned you off. You struggled to do one playthrough of Scarlet and Violet and dreaded the side. Yeah, I hear that with a lot of people, surprisingly. That's like not my issue with Scarlet and Violet. Like, I didn't have issues playing through the game, but I have like a ton of other issues with it. Top tier opinion that Sword and Shield's better than Scarlet and Violet. It is funny because I've like seen a few videos on like what's the better game, Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet, and like 9 times out of 10 they'll say Scarlet and Violet is the better game, but their only reasoning will be like because the story was better and the characters were better. Like, yeah, that's true. They were better, but overall, no. Like Scarlet Violet being an open world like that makes you feel less connected to routes. Yeah, I like the routes. Like, you can always argue, like, oh, the open world, there's a lot more in terms of exploring to do. But for me, the exploring in, like, older games was like, all right, we're on a new route. Let's see what we can find here. Because, like, you don't know. You don't know what's spawning. It's not just right in your face all of a sudden. Like, immediately. And, like, you do some encounters and see what you can find. And if you're playing through the first time, it's, like, new Pokemon you haven't seen before. And it's exciting. And, like, that's the level of, like, wonder and exploration and excitement that you get from like a route-based game, as opposed to, oh, let's go to South Province Area 1, South Province Area 2. It's like, oh, look, Skiddo again. Oh, there's Deerling again. Oh, hey, look, can't forget about Knackley. Ah, there's 30 of those Pokemon. Oh, here's one extra Pokemon. Cool. Like, all in like 2 seconds. Story and characters matter? They do. Like, I think Sword and Shield needs to have a better story. I think it does. But overall, there's way more enjoyment in Sword and Shield over Scarlet and Violet, at least for me. Like, if the next game was like a Sword and Shield style game, but with a much better story and characters, then I feel like more people would be happy with that than they think. And for me, I'm never one, like you say story and characters matter. For me personally, they don't. But I'm not going to be like, oh, the next game doesn't need to have a good story. Like, no. Like, obviously they need to have good stories. It's just not like a huge, like, game. It's not like the make or break of the game for me. It's like everything else about the game. I think if they made a game like Scarlet and Violet again, they can make it better if there were no overworld shinies. Yeah, but I can't see them doing an open world Pokemon game without overworld shinies. Unless they do it like Sword and Shield, the overworld in that, but I feel like most people probably wouldn't want that. I probably would. You only finish the story in Scarlet and Violet, but in Sword and Shield you have over 100 hours of gameplay since there's actual stuff to do after the main story. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Dude, they could have at least put a battle tower in Scarlet and Violet. Like, I don't know why they didn't do that. So dumb. When you hunt Mew, you're going to do it in the Gen 1 Virtual Console? Nice. You have a theory that you're going to test. If you play Scarlet and Violet without the bike, bios, and battle all the trainers and do the gyms in order, it make play better and more. They play better. Out Koraidon and Miraidon, I don't think you can play through the whole game without them. Like, you need to be able to get to Artisan, and you need to, like, jump over, like, a giant cliff. Like the overworld and grass encounter Sword and Shield has, in your opinion, you like how overworld Pokemon don't appear shiny? Exactly. I think that's better, because it adds a level of excitement, and it keeps shinies rare at the baseline. What they need to do, and I understand, like, a lot of people will be like, oh, no, shinies were too hard in Sword and Shield. Keep how shinies were in Sword and Shield, but have better methods. Like, have the methods be more effective. Because Sword and Shield's methods were kind of dog, if I'm being honest. And I feel like more people would be happy with that. They removed the sparkle sound. Your eyes were hurting from the FPS. See, that's the thing. Like, that it's a clear indicator that, like, Pokemon isn't meant to be an open world game, because every overworld Pokemon game we've had has had a different interpretation of shiny sparkles. That's just one of the many examples of a game mechanic that just hasn't fully been realized because they've changed it too much. Like, they can't figure out the best interpretation of how to do a shiny in a game like that. So it's been different every time. Scarlet and Violet is better because look at these 11 shinies you got in 5 minutes, yeah. Scarlet and Violet shiny hunters will never understand the pain of hunt hours and hours and still get nothing. That's not the point, but sure, I guess. Like, I don't think people need to experience a tedious hunt. They just have it so that shinies aren't common from the start. Have it so that you have to go out, like, do a challenge or something to make shinies easier. Don't just have them be easy from the start and then completely free once you do the sandwich method. General question, what is there to actually do in Scarlet and Violet other than shiny hunting? If you're not in competitive, then nothing. If you're not into competitive, then genuinely nothing. And I'm not into competitive, and I don't like shiny hunting in Scarlet and Violet. So, like, there's a lot for me to not like about those games. Like, they have the, like, the tournament thing you can do, but, like, if you have a level 100 Skeledirge, you just hit A over and over again, and that's it. That's all you do. Like, there's nothing exciting about that. What's up, Tygus, Tugas? Welcome in. The biggest thing Scarlet and Violet did for Shiny Hunters was it gave us control over the battle camera. Yeah. Too bad it didn't matter on the skins exactly. Yeah, them like panning like just randomly when you're trying to get a screenshot of like your shiny was so annoying because then like 90% of the time it would just focus on your Pokemon and not what you've been like encountered. It was a decent amount of time in Scarlet and Violet, but I think 1/4 of that was you accidentally falling asleep while the game was running. You got your 397th shiny, 3rd shiny unknown, nice. All you plebs need to egg hunt for 9 months without Flame Body to be a real hunter, yeah. Also getting rid of Pokemon Daycare and having us wait 30 minutes for 30 minutes for this part's getting cut off by the heart icon on the chat. Getting rid of Pokemon Daycare and having us to wait 30 minutes for a box and a half of eggs is a big turn up. Yeah, breeding in Scarlet and Violet is awful. And there's not really a reason to do it unless you're going for the starters. Yeah, all the games, Scarlet and Violet is the most empty post game despite having 2 DLCs. I agree. The DLCs the DLCs added essentially a smaller playthrough that you could do, which is fine. Like, that's great. But after you beat those stories, again, there's just like nothing to do. Like, I was hoping they would add like a battle tower. I love being able to do like the battle tower and like get like try to get all the things and like train your Pokemon for it. It's always fun. And like they have their little like NPC tournaments and stuff, but they're not like challenging. I also feel Scarlet and Violet aren't great to casual players due to it being open world game, which can be more difficult to control. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's probably not an issue, but I have heard a lot of people do get motion sickness with like the free roam camera, which I never knew about until people in chat told me that happens to them. When you did your Black Dream Team quest, you spent 2 years in Pinwheel Forest looking for Venipede. Wouldn't hope that on anyone, but now it's your second most treasured shiny. Yeah, it just makes memories. Yeah. A lot of people think that, like, oh, you want shinies to be hard, you want to spend hours and hours on every shiny. It's like, no, I just like that shinies are rare. One of my most treasured shinies I got recently was an Ekans in Fire Red that took me 92 encounters. Faster than most of my Scarlet and Violet hunts, but I still like it more. It's still cool. For me, like, it's just because you're not expecting to get a shiny that fast when they're that rare. In Scarlet and Violet, you get a shiny in like a few minutes. It's kind of expected because of how many you see at a time. So it's just the excitement level goes way down. Takes you an hour to get a box of eggs. When did your I already read that. You're still hunting the Regis and doing Dynamax Ventures since Crown Tundra was released? Yeah, that's another thing, is like shiny locking. Like, again, we're talking about things to do. Dude, Scarlet and Violet would have gone so much higher on my appreciation value if they let us shiny hunt those returning legendaries, and they didn't. It would have given me something to do that I was excited about, and they didn't. They're like, nope. You need to spend $35 and then play this game for like a day, and then that's it. You can speak English, you swear. I don't know why I'm making any mistakes. I've had that happen before. Sometimes you just like type the wrong thing. Sometimes autocorrect is weird. Yeah, it's like, think about it. Like, people are still to this day doing Dynamax adventures in Sword and Shield, like trying to get some shiny legendaries and stuff, or just like do some shiny hunts. Like, people still have value and put a lot of hours into that DLC. I guarantee you, after like a couple months or so, I feel like barely anyone's gonna be talking about the Scarlet and Violet DLC. Shiny hunt because it gives your ADHD something to do. Just why you don't like hunting in Scarlet and Violet and Legends. Yeah, it's just like something to keep your mind occupied. Scarlet and Violet, you gotta be so locked in to shiny hunts. And then it's like also way too easy. So it's like bad on that regard, and then like bad on how easy it is. So it's just like a bunch of not enjoyable stuff. Are you going to transfer the Mew after I get it? At some point, yeah. I'm thinking about backing up my Leaf Green save file and then sending up all the shinies and then restoring the file so I can still have them on like Leaf Green. Have the best of both worlds. Be able to send up my shinies and have them all in one spot in like the modern games, and also to have them on the original games as well. Golden, thank you for the shiny luck. Legendaries in the resort are shiny locked. Are you trolling? You're talking about the returning legendaries in the Indigo Disc? You're trolling, right? There's no way you're just now learning that. It was everywhere on social media. Dude, you look at any post that the Pokemon Company posts about their returning legendaries, and 90% of the replies are, like, annoyed that they are shiny locked. It's honestly sad. It's the first time you heard about it? That is wild. That is wild. I'm sorry. That's wild. Yeah, there's not a single legendary in Scarlet and Violet that you can hunt. Yeah, like, you go on Twitter, they'll, like, post a tweet, be like, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, you can get them in the hidden treasure of Area 0 Part 2, and all the replies are like, they're shiny locked, don't care. Shiny locked, so who cares? Oh, they're shiny locked. Why'd you shiny lock them? I can just hunt them in an older game. I can get them shiny in an older game. Older games are better because they're not shiny locked. Like, it's just that's like what 90% of the replies are on, like, all those posts. It's crazy, and it's sad. It's sad not because so many people are annoyed about it. It's sad because they did it, and it's very clear that they shouldn't do it. You're not that active on Twitter. That's true. You get a lot of info on Twitter. Cannot transfer into home. Only Japanese Mew from Emerald are legal in home. Also, where'd you hear that from? You're just spreading misinformation. I'll prove it again. I'll prove it again. You're gonna make me do it again. Fussel, before you start telling people something, do research on it first. Because you're spreading misinformation. Does not matter what language the Mew is. If it was caught from the Emerald event, the faraway island event in Emerald, it will send up into home with no issues. I have multiple Mew from this Spanish copy that I have sent up into home that are in home, and they are totally fine. See this one? See this one? Spanish EU. Fateful Encounter. It's kind of hard to see because it's not in focus. Fateful Encounter from the Hoenn region. Wow, that's crazy. It's like it's from Emerald. And then this one, Spanish EU. Oh, but fateful encounter in the Hoenn region? Wow, that's crazy. It's almost like I got it from this game and it's not Japanese. So yeah, sorry to put you on blast, but a lot of people, I guess, just assume that you can't send them up because they're not Japanese, when that's just 100% false. So don't be spreading misinformation, people. You love your videos? Just so you know, only the Japanese Mew is legal. Oh my gosh, you're trolling. You guys are just trolling at this point. Would love to see Ace down the line to remove shiny locks in all games. That'd be interesting. The only reason you haven't bought a copy of Leaf Green is because the reprints can't transfer up. Yeah, they can. Oh, well, maybe you'd probably have to have an authentic copy to trade to first. My reproduction copy of Fire Red, I can't directly send the Pokemon from that into like a Gen 4 game, because as soon as I put it in a DS, it'll delete the save file. But I can trade the shinies off to like an authentic game and then send them up with no issues. So, I guess just like you gotta have the right resources, I guess. Are all those Mew the same OTSID? No, they're from different save files. I didn't like duplicate it. I had to like restart the save file and do it again. It was when I went to the first time before I did my Gen 3 living decks in Pokeballs only. I did the same thing, just not in Pokeballs only back in the day, and I had to restart this Emerald like 4 times to get all the Deoxys forms. And when I did that, I just caught Mew a few times and then send it up, because you can do both of the events at the same time. So that's what I did. Are you going to do a glitch to make the Mew legal? Oh wait, that's not true. Are you referring to the realization that I just proved that you can send up non-Japanese Mews
smile on my face.
into home? Music City Kane, thank you for the follow. Thank you for putting a smile on Thanos' face. I do appreciate it. You have a weird habit of catching Pokemon and Pokeballs that match? Yeah. You have an English Mew from Emerald and Home. Yeah, it doesn't matter what language you're in. The Mew may not be completely legit, but there's a difference between legitimacy and legality, and they are always 100% legal. And even further, they will probably always be legal, because there's a solid chance that they do what they did with Celebi and Crystal and release a virtual console of Emerald and make it available through any language. If Nintendo didn't want you to shiny hunt Mew in Gen 1 vs. Clone, they should have patched it. It's not like they didn't know about it. Nintendo has no... They don't care about what happens in Pokemon games. They just distribute them. You needed to say Fateful Encounter from Kanto. I think YouTuber Johnstone got tricked by that. You've seen like 3 people who got tricked by that. Tricked by what? About the Mew thing being legal? Yeah, no, it's only the Japanese one that's legal. Just kidding. Don't listen to that. Stop spreading misinformation, people. Are the legendaries in Scarlet and Violet Mark huntable? I don't know, actually. You got English shiny Mew from this event and went through home just fine. Yeah, and I think didn't Platypus do the same thing? What's up, the Gaming Trico? Welcome in. Can you get a Mew? I'm not gonna trade you one, but I guess you can get yourself a Mew if you want. Yeah. You know it's real when I have to open up Pokemon Home. Like, you're making me open up Pokemon Home. The Thanos thing scares you every time. That's... Sorry, that's crazy. It's not really like... It's... If my volume is up too loud, then it scares me, but I have my volume set at a respectable volume, so... And I haven't heard other people be like, it's too loud, so... Wasn't there a glitch required for a Zoo Flute Arceus or like a Gen 4 thing with certain legendary mythical? It could be wrong though. So if you use the Void glitch in Diamond, specifically Diamond, you can't do it in Pearl, and you can't catch Arceus from Platinum. If you catch a Void glitch Arceus from Diamond, level it up to level 100, and have it forget every single move it knows except for Judgment, and you have to do this before sending it to Gen 5. Then it'll send up with no issues. But it's a very weird oversight. It's not meant to be like that. Because there's never been like a Diamond Arceus that was legal. You have a feeling I'll get a shiny? I have a feeling I'll get a shiny too. I just don't know when. You just never know when. Wacko, didn't I just answer that question? I don't know if they are. Don't forget to encounter. No, it's fine. Always wondered why Pearl doesn't have the same issue. Well, Pearl is the one that has the issue. It's Diamond the one that works. Bank just hates Pearl for some reason. Because you can do the same thing with Darkrai. You can't, if you can do a Void glitch to get Darkrai, and then if you level it up to level 50 and have it forget the move Pursuit, and then send it up, it'll work fine. Can't do it on Pearl though. The difference with Darkrai, though, is that if you get it from Platinum, it's legal, so there's not really, like, a good reason to do it unless you don't have Platinum. You can just do DNS exploit to get the event item from Platinum. Did you know the DNS trick for Gen 4 and 5 works for the Ranger games? I think I've heard that. I don't really have a reason to do that, though. I know it also works for, like, you can do GTS in Gen 4 as well. Hunting, rest for shiny Granite Cave right now. Good luck. How long is this hunt taking? I don't know. I don't time my hunts. Yeah, it's BS that you have to have it forget specific moves, even though you can legally have them remember, like, certain moves. Like, you can legally catch a Darkrai in Platinum and then send it into Diamond and have it relearn Pursuit, So it's wild that would, like, flag it as an illegitimate, illegal Darkrai, Like, that's crazy. You'll buy 2 extra new 3DS XL with capture card. You already got 2 new 3DS XL capture card already. You're gonna have 2 DS lights. Already, wow, you have a lot of stuff. Good luck. The Mews are judged by if they're Japanese or not. Pokey racism, yeah, true. Everyone cares. Everyone's like, hey, if it's not Japanese, you shouldn't be getting this Mew. This Mew, bad news. I'm over here trying to prove to you guys, all Mew are equal. Alright, I'm only gonna do a few more encounters. I gotta get going. I'm gonna get food. I'm gonna go offline. I'm gonna get food. I'm gonna probably be gone for like an hour, hour and a half. And then we're gonna come back and do some Rumble. Because it's Rumble weekend. The Russian Mew? I don't know if there's a Russian version of Emerald. I doubt there is. I'll get to 42-30. That's what I'm going to get to. So like 2 more sets. Yeah, it's Rumble weekend. I didn't forget about it. I just found out kind of short notice. And I was kind of planning on doing the Mew hunt. I was like, I have so much stuff going on. I'm like, I don't really want to dedicate a full weekend to Rumble, so we'll just like do it on occasion. Same weekend on Community Day? Brother, there's a Community Day like every weekend now. They do too many weekend events in Pokemon Go now. It's ridiculous. Impossible to have that scheduled. And also, Community Day is only 3 hours. Like, Rumble Weekend's the whole, like, 72 hours or whatever. You also don't have to only hunt and rumble on the weekend. Like, you can go farther if you want. It's not like a law. It's just a suggestion. It was also the same week as your exams. Oh. Yeah, Mew writes. You can get the special ranger missions and get the transferable Manaphy, Shaman, Darkrai, Heatran, and Deoxys. That's cool. The Manaphy is a you can get anytime. Like the Manaphy egg. You can get that anytime in Ranger without a DNS exploit. It's just a universal code that doesn't expire. You haven't seen anyone shiny hunting this way in a while. Looks like 2010 over here. Really? Check out Absol Blogs. He always hunts like this. The only shiny Arceus you can get in Gen 4 was hacked. The Japanese version of Pokebank used to let you transfer Arceus until an update. Yeah, you can't do shiny Arceus from Gen 4. You can send in Arceus from Gen 4 via Diamond if you follow specific steps, but if it's shiny, it will not go through, which is very strange. They must just have a general, like, lock on shiny Arceus. Well, for Poke Transporter. Like, it doesn't care how it was obtained. If it's shiny, it's illegal. Which, I guess that makes sense. But usually the shininess doesn't matter, because there's no, like, shiny locks in the older games. Wasn't the Toys R Us event one shiny? No, it wasn't. There was, like, a Gen 6 Arceus event, and it had, like, a low chance of being shiny, and you had, like, a... Like, not low as in, like, 1 in 20. Like, not like a 1 in 8, 192, 1 in 4, 96, but, yeah, there was an Arceus event in Gen 6, I believe, that had a chance of being shiny. But it wasn't guaranteed. And that was, at the time, that was, like, the only, like, legitimate way to have a shiny Arceus. And I think it was Japanese only. But ever since BDSP, that was, you can just hunt shiny Arceus in BDSP now. But you'll get the shiny Mew on an even number. What makes you say that? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do one encounter on one game, get to an odd number, and then stay at that, just to prove you wrong. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. That would drive me crazy. Is it better streaming on YouTube? I think Twitch is ultimately a better streaming platform. But now that we can not break their TOS... and simulcast, it's like, might as well, you know. I have a bigger following on YouTube, so it just makes sense to stream on both. But if I'm gonna do, like, not simulcast streaming, it'll be on Twitch. So if anyone's watching from YouTube, make sure you follow me on Twitch, because that'll be the more consistent streaming platform I'm on. If I remember correctly, it was because there was a Japanese gift that was shiny locked in Diamond Pearl. Yeah, maybe. Were you not allowed to multi-stream before? Not on Twitch. You could do it on... You could, like, simulcast, like, YouTube, TikTok, Kick. You could do, like, those. But Twitch had, like, a stupid rule where you were not allowed to simulcast. It used to be, like, you could unless you were, like, a partner or, like, an affiliate or somewhere. Then they made it so that you just couldn't at all. And now, recently, they made it so that you can. Like, you just can now. They had, like, changed, like, heads at Twitch. Like, whoever's, like, the CEO of Twitch is, like, actually a halfway decent person. So, they've been making a lot of better changes lately. Which is good. Okay, I guess I'm gonna get to 4250 because I definitely kept going. Can you explain how you can always get the Manaphy egg from Ranger? You didn't know that? There's just a universal code. Like, if you look up the code, I think I might have even put it in my Gen 4 Living Dex video. I'm not sure. Once you get the Ranger net, you can only get one per cartridge, though, unless you have a means of, like, wiping your cartridge. But once you have, like, the Ranger net, you can do, like, there's, like, a button combination that you hit to, like, enter a code. And there's just a universal code that never expires that gives you the Manaphy egg mission. And then you can send it into a Gen 4 game. Shiny Mew looks so good. Yeah, I really want Shiny Mew. Alright, but I will only do one more set of encounters after this. I'm not getting that 4251. I'm not doing it. We're not doing it. I gotta get ready for Rumble. This will work out, because we'll be at 4250 for Mew, and we'll be at 4540 for Bidoof. Guess you're gonna be back for Rumble later. Yeah, everyone, make sure you're following and subscribed. I'll be streaming Rumble in like an hour or two. But that's gonna be it for me. Thank you to everyone who tuned into the stream, and I will see you next time.